Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games, and welcome to a special update for this week in MTG Finance. Well, as I'm sure many of you have heard, Wizards dropped a bomb on us by announcing a new Eternal format called Pioneer, folks. That's right, and it's going to include everything from Return to Ravnica up to the most current set. The thing I found interesting about this is it includes a very short ban list. The only thing on the ban list is the 5 fetch lands that were printed in Khans of Tarkir. Now I'm sure they're going to be changing that ban list very quickly when they start remembering all the busted things people were doing with things like Deathrite Shamans, Smuggler's Copters, Dig Through Times. But I think they're giving the opportunity for everybody to kind of brew and play and just see what happens and go from there. As always today, before we get started, I'd like to thank MTG Stocks for allowing us to use graphical information for the purposes of this video. I'm going to begin by sharing with you guys some cards that have already gone a little bit crazy since the announcement, and then I'll show you a list of cards that I feel that you should probably consider picking up that haven't gone absolutely insane yet. Alright, let's kick things off with Aetherworks Marvel. Energy cards are definitely going to play a dominant role in this format, that's for sure. I'm not going to go too deep into my thoughts on energy. I will say that, it's not a mechanic that I agree with, but I'll save that for another video. So for today, let's look at things like Aetherworks Marvel. This is a card that's definitely going to be played in this format. Everybody kind of agrees with that, and that's why it went from $1.25 to, $10 and change. This is probably going to be a $20 card. So, I mean, if you're planning on building this deck, you should pick this card up in a hurry because it's only going to keep going up over the course of the next few days. Up next, we have Dig Through Time. This card took a massive jump, again, from around the $1.25, $1.50 area, right up to almost $10. This is a card that was banned very quickly, and I think the likelihood is it will probably be banned on the first ban, round that they go through with Pioneer. But for now, it's perfectly legal, so, people are going to be taking advantage of this card for sure. And another one that's definitely getting a lot of attention is Torrential Gearhulk. I actually think for the price where it's sitting right now at $9.50, although it's up, it's worth 3 times what it was yesterday. But this is still a reasonable buy if you're planning on playing, Control or a deck that's going to be using Torrential Gearhulk in Pioneer. $9.50 is not a terrible price to be paying. For this card. It's definitely going to be going up a lot higher from here. And the last one I'm going to show you guys for today under the crazy spike category is Deathrite Shaman. This card went from the $2.50 range all the way up to $15, and rightfully so. Deathrite Shaman is an amazing creature. He loses a little bit of play value in the fact that we don't have fetch lands in this format. So, his first ability, tap, exile target land from, a graveyard, and add 1 mana of any color is not quite as effective as it would have been, say, in a format like Modern. But this creature is just really good value. I mean, we can exile instants and sorceries from a graveyard, and our opponents lose life for 1 mana. And, for 1 mana, we can also exile creatures from a graveyard, and we gain 2 life. He's just really good at stopping sort of recursive strategies, keeping your opponent's graveyard under control, and just a good value creature for, in the 1 mana slot. So he's gonna see a lot of play. Is he too strong to be banned in this format? I mean, time will tell. We'll save that one for another video, but for now, just understand that you're gonna be running into this guy a lot. As always, if you're already a subscriber, I want to thank you for being here. We really appreciate your support. And if you're not a subscriber, now's a great time to consider hitting that subscribe button. We post at least 2 videos every week. Alright, let's look at some cards that haven't hit the stratosphere that I think you should probably consider picking up playsets of at least. Generally, when a new format emerges, all the focus is around, cards that are going to make up the dominant decks in that format. It usually takes a little while for the hate cards to follow suit, so let's get out ahead of the curve and see what hate cards we can pick up that are good quality cards and are still reasonably priced. Supreme Verdict is good enough to be played in Modern, which means it's definitely good enough to be played in Pioneer. For 4 mana, we get a Destroy All Creatures that can't be countered. It's the final word in board wipes. Fatal Push is another great card that's going to be seeing a lot of play, although a little less effective than it is in Modern without fetch lands. Still a great go-to piece in removal in black for 1 black mana. Abrade is another great piece of removal, having the ability to either do damage to a creature or destroy an artifact in the same card is just phenomenal. In fact, I suspect this is a card that's going to be likely reprinted very soon. I mean, this is a new format. Wizards is going to want to support it. You know, they're already putting announcements of it into major competitive events. So, you know, supplies of a lot of the good stuff, like things like a Braid, Fatal Push, that kind of stuff, is low. You know, those types of cards haven't been reprinted yet. So I suspect that early in the new year, you know, possibly in Theros, or maybe there'll be some sort of Pioneer Masters, who knows. But they're going to want to get more supply of this stuff out in the marketplace to support the format for sure. So, but regardless of that, I mean, $2 is still a great price to be picking up and or filling out your playset of a Braid. And Wear and Tear is another one you're going to want to make sure you have your playset of. This is definitely going to be one of the go-to answers in any deck that's running red and white. And at $2.40, it's a great time to fill your playset out. The last three I have for you today are a little bit speculative, but really at this point, what's not speculative? I mean, it's a brand new format. The first one I want you to consider at least grabbing, and especially at these prices, is Fry. Fry is going to be a great sideboard answer to a lot of problem cards in this format. I mean, Teferis are going to be a problem, you know, things like Lyra Dawnbringer for control players. Fry's great, gets around all this stuff, can't be countered, 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker that's white or blue. It's going to be a good answer to a lot of problems in this format. Another one to make sure you've got your playset of while they're cheap is Noxious Grasp. This card is going to deal with a lot of big problems in this format. I mean, it's going to deal with Okos, going to deal with Teferis. You know, Green Stompy is probably going to be a thing in Pioneer. In fact, I'm hoping to have out a Green Stompy list by the end of this week. I've been working on a bit of brews, was working on some last night. And I think I've got a Green Stompy deck that's pretty good put together. So yeah, look for that video this week. But, you know, this card is going to be an answer to a lot of big problems. Siege Rhino, kill Siege Rhino, right? You know, like I said, Teferis, Okos. So, two-man answer to a lot of big problems in this format. Make sure you have your playset, especially at, you know, under 50 cents. And the last one I have for your consideration under the speculative category today is Settle the Wreckage. I mean, exiling things is going to be a lot more difficult in this format than it is in Modern. We don't have Path to Exile, so, you know, some of the key cards that we use to sort of deal with problems, early answers kind of stuff are missing from this format. So I think Settle the Wreckage is definitely going to find its way into, you know, as one or two of for sure in a lot of control decks. And making sure that you have, you know, your playset filled out at these prices under $2 is, you know, a great pickup at this point. Listen, folks, there's going to be a lot of volatility in the marketplace over the next few weeks and months, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videos to make sure I keep you guys up to date on all the movements. So if you're already a subscriber, make sure you hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss a thing. Alright, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.